finally here, Endwalker. So, I'm going to boot this up, and we're going to record my journey of going through this expansion. It's going to probably be filled with lots of laughter and a heck of a lot of tears. So let's do this. And I'm barely prepared for this, so fingers crossed this goes well. Happy Endwalker, everyone. It is time. Let's go and see how long we have to wait today. It's probably going to crash on me, as it is. There we go. It's finally checking. It played. Here it goes. Alright. Let's see what happens. Holy sh... Oh my god, it's actually here. Come on. Oh, whoa! Only 1,165? Holy shnikes! I'm actually able to get it? Oh man! This is awesome. And now we wait. Two hours later. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, mentorship renewal. Alphanaut is feeling the need to take stock. Bernier, do you have time to talk? Yes. Nod. I would like to gather everyone to the Dawn Respite and together assess the situation we found ourselves in. New song. Let's take stock, this is the time, of the fact that, shall we? The crisis has begun with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telophary. The Telophary's state purpose is to recreate the final days of the Aeon's past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction while we hold dear. Already have these towers caused the untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. Oh, the music! Unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't get close enough to rescue anyone. Their shielded blessing of light seems to resist being tempered, at least. But after what happened to Arnvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful in how we proceed. And yet, these threats close to home are paramount concern. We mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Telophary are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Galvus, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varus, plunged Garlemald into even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession, but there has changed, and in troubling ways. Aye, during our reconnaissance, the air not once rented by the barking of cannons and cries of discord. 'Twas an air fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with a nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it would seem to safely assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Telophary. Aye. An army of primals in awful enough, but the light of recent developments, I fear, is only to prelude to even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat quickly before our allies are overwhelmed. Nod. We'll find a way in, Charlie, and I'm sure of it. Master Fortunal comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The forum knows more than is letting on. Sorry to interrupt. I've come for my money! Ooh! We just received word from Mistress Crab. She says the arrangements for your visit have been finalized. You're to head to Limsa Lumens and board the next ship, bound to Charlian. Ooh, this is gonna be fun to get into Limsa. On our arrival, present yourselves as associates and students of Beldessian. Come to assist the other in the restoration. Hype music. The arrangements may be settled, but what are your thoughts? They must race as prospect of returning ere long. I'm eager to see, of course. Ahem, we shall set off at once. It's gonna be interesting. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. Thank you, Tataru. Alright. Let's hear the... I want to hear the quest accepted soon. That's nice. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Just like that. I hope they will add the filter like in the trailer.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule, or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny.
Not.
Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
There he goes.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Not me.
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
God, I need to be taking screenshots.
Will this be your first visit to Charlian, Sir Estinian?
I'm gonna run out of memory.
Sir Estinian?
He still has his
Are
hair
we
down.
strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Love them.
Better.
Oh, look at her.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
It's because I'm the main villain the whole time. Wahahaha.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland. It's just... we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world. And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
No, I'll bring them back. Don't you worry.
I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
There he is, Harry Boulder.
Hori! Coulternay! What brings you...
Oh, yeah. Oh shit, Taki
We're to
mushrooms.
assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower.
Accidentally hit the button in mid-sentence.
Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye. We, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We're set to sail! All aboard for Charlian!
Here we go.
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Odd.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
There we go.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux.
Yeah, Emmett. So, Emmett's
In
narrating.
uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice.
This second trailer, so I guess we were right.
That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent. And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
What? There we go. The heck? This is 1.0. This is what happened in 1.0.
Feel.
Or one, well, actually in this too, but I remember I saw in 1.0's beginning.
Think.
You picked the Limsa.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that.
Look at those.
Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
It's funny, because that's the exact motions.
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
Here she is. Got little sparklies following her.
My voice yet reaches you. I am
Oh,
glad.
that is Heidelin. Is it?
Hear.
Yep.
Feel. Think. And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
It is her. Look at her eyes.
After your sojourn in the first, I believe you have your answer.
Gosh, she's so pretty.
You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Heidelin has always been, a primal.
Very self-aware.
Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield.
Oh, that's why she's out here instead of into the crystal-y world. That's why she
Yet
got
though
quiet.
it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time. Another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Charlian's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We shall meet again, and soon.
Thank you, Heidelin.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taken a look at the island already?
Oh, well, that's weird.
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is.
Hear the music.
Good old Charlian.
Oh, I see it.
There it is. And the endless fountain.
Home.
There's the music.
Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed. 'Tis as Sir Estinian said. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper.
Yeah.
There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Deep down into the depths of the library of every book ever. I hope you know the Dewey Decimal System. Alphino, you're on duty for the cards. Is it gonna do the logo? Yeah, here we go! Here we go. Oh my god.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets.
I think...
Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
Bernier is Thalak, or it was. The Northern Empty. So that's what this is called. So it must be just past the empty.
I thought they'd
from the
never let
empty.
us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
Oh, time to sneak in.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
We're just gonna have to sneak in.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions.
You want to cover
Crown
your
has
tattoos,
laid the
then.
groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
I still think they might want to cover their tattoos.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Look at the little scholar. Get that Karen-looking hairstyle, too.
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahat here of the Students of Baldesion at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today.
Thank you, tiny Lalafell potato.
And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
Glowing book is glowing.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
Wow, asking me, I was like wondering, oh wow, it glows. It's also probably a great way so they don't, you know, animate page turning.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
Ooh. I love it. Let's see how this goes.
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alizé Leveilleur.
We better not have stricken them from the records.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
It's okay, you got better parents
And
now.
while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Me.
Name and occupation?
Well, name's Bernier. And I'm sort of a jack of all trades. I like crafting things, so yes, mentor. Well, until recently, when everything went up to level 90. Little metagaming there, you know. Artisan. There I am. I am an artisan.
Indeed. Your profile describes you as an adventurer, but one also trained in the rather more constructive pursuits of procurement and production. You may enter.
Mm-hmm.
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Eye candy. I don't think he's ever thought about that.
If you'll allow me.
There she is, little Cryo.
My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Thank you, Cryo.
Mistress Baldesion, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Thank you, Cryo. Friends are all together
Cryo,
again.
it is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Yes.
Oh! Welcome, friends, to Charlian.
Thank you, Cryo. We've heard so much about this
As
place
your
for many
mercenary,
years.
I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Oh, that's a nice quest complete music. I've thought to launch directly into explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. Smile. Okay, this music, every time I heard it, makes me think of Undertale. Holmes' song. Come on. That's what I think. Anyway. But this is Bernier Nestinian's first time in Charlian, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so we may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and bearings in your city. Good thing I tuned all the Aetherites. Once you settled in, we can reconvene at Baldassian's Annex. How does that sound? 'Tis a fine suggestion. We may not be welcomed at Levier Estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I'm equally untethered, as it were. There's no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up an opportunity to reclaim myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might yet yield some useful gossip. The Annex was west of the Aether Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. Think. I too have places I would remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. I require milkshakes. What of you, Estinian? My services as guide of yours is to the asking. Or can I get things for ponytails? That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... oh. Oh well. Well, Raha? Raha. Would you like to join us, then? You've been gone quite a while, and this would be a perfect way to those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course. You'll have me. Come, Bernier. Charlian awaits. Quest accepted. After you, my friend. I'm more confident follow your lead. Oh my goodness! It's like old school party! Oh, this is amazing! It's just like an old school party! Come on, girl, let's go! I promised you I'd take you on my next adventure. And now look, we're on our adventure. Nope. That's what I meant to do. Aww. I love how much this still looks like Idleshire. Graha? How are you doing that? Oh, there we go. The joyous look of Raha's face has doubly informed you that this is the Baldassian Enix. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of the phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. I'm back, and I brought Bernier and Raha with me. Ah, you're right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Bernier. I've heard many tales of your exploits. Ojaka? Ojaka Sunjaka? Ojaka Sunjaka. I don't know. It's been an age. Let me introduce Ojaka Sunjaka, an administration officer of the students of Baldassian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Enix. You may recall meeting his cousin, Yijaka. Ah yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. Yeah, someday I'll do Eureka. This place is the second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we have often had the occasion to visit Charlian. Whether you make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the Enix here was built to provide lodgings for our members, while we engage in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the island itself, vanished, the Enix has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty, with so many lost to us. Our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we will see our students rise again. But first we must ensure that the Telophary fall. Nod. Through the door on the left, there's the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I have had private headquarters prepared for you in the Andron. So, please, feel free to make yourself at home. Well, I guess we found the inn. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon dose. The nap rooms. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more than some cheap roadside inn, you may have assured. 'Twas simply that we often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we slip into Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. It's like I knew he was about to nod. Feeling refreshed and alert, our colleagues should be wandering in anytime soon. I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
He had to restock all his Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Let's get down to business then, shall we?
And defeat the Huns!
Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroid's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal.
Oh, is this one of those choose-your-own-adventure
The
moments?
first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Charlian, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Charlian focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Ooh, that's a big word, recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
Time travel.
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it.
Find out what secrets to tell.
As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Charlian colleagues, we have strong connections overseas,
Such
namely with
pretty
scholars and
art.
academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Favner. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
Tower of Zot.
In response to this threat, the satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. It is possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Who could that be?
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavner would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Charlian is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnerian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, Our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
If I must.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alize and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
She's so angry.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner. Thoughts? Objections?
So quiet in the corner.
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
I have the dads together.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Yeah. No. All right, next quest. Hitting the books. Pretty good amount of experience points. Oh, it just dawned on me. I just noticed the experience point of also squished because I was like just realizing it's only 5 million EXP now. I forgot about all the stat squids because I remember like it was like 17 million to get to level 80 or whatever. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the councils directly is a fruitless endeavor. Yes, I will go segue right back into it. They seem to have already come to consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. Which I have begun scouring Sharlayan archives of historical records for any hint of the connection to the final days. Suffice to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, but now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search shall proceed all the swifter. Let us convene outside Pneumonia. Alright. Exit the Enix to the right and you'll find the archives to the western edge of the woods. That little quest icon follows them sometimes. Oh. And this will lead me to Thavner. Well, also want to go to Thavner too, so. I have Carl's instructions in hand. Are you ready to set out? And so are we. Having been to Thavner before, I can travel by Aetherite. But what are the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Quarrels of the same mind, so we've secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. Huh? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart. Unto those sanctuary we delivered the outing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbreda. I know, Moonbreda. Moonbreda was an authority of aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in the purest of our parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers of the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? Poor Uri. I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. Umbrada. And Hath. Many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection has revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus I have kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. Not too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the conference, and I shall face which hath long been overdue. It is settled then. Let us be off. When we arrive, we shall look for a researcher named Kite. Or Katie. Alright, so I'm gonna go this way first. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's so cool. I'm researching the Far East Tenkono. Here, a bit of truth. It is made of timber. Isn't that absolutely fascinating? My serious and exact land such a place must be. Constructing aetherites. Oh, small. Like you. The steady calibration requires a firm grasp of fundamentals of aether. Ooh, I want to go downstairs. Look at all the aetherites down there. Bunny. Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Yes, we've come for your books. Not to our knowledge. We are associates of Cryle, the students of Baldessian. We seek passage to Thavnir and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects! Welcome, welcome! What? Test subjects? Bunny. Test subjects? Oh, you haven't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetherite, you ordinarily need to attune to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of aether hurtling along the life stream. Okay. Oh. An inconvenient but inconvertible limitation of aetherite teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetherite without being attuned to it? Well, that would really be helpful. A way to teleport instantly to a place you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible that people might be able to move more freely. We've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetherite that doesn't require attunement. truly, it changes everything. While my language may have been misleading, the user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites are the ones being installed here in Charlian, and over in Yel'Damad, a port town in Thavnir. As you know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Raza Han, and indeed, we have much breakthrough due to the contributions of their alchemists. To sum it up, we're the test these aetherites. How fortuitous of you. I should mention that an accidental accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like you, like your good self. These magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A viable dream come true. As far be it for me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of these shiny new inventions? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we're actually struggle to find chapter subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the live stream, and statistically unlikely event that something goes our way. Awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mrs. Crowell truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, our Master Wolfson and Mistress Blown Wilda not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but not privy to the details. Let's see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head aside to the aetherite puzzle. I'll be along shortly. Alright. Good luck.
Right. We're all set.
Oh, look at her earring.
Just the 4 of you, was it?
That's cute.
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please.
What's the worst that could happen?
There is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether.
It's literally Star Trek. Beam me up, Scotty.
And one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
Oh, I was happy. I was hoping that's what they would do. Oh, what's that over there? Oh, there's another. I don't think I've been to that town over there.
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay.
For a time.
For a time.
Oh.
Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance?
Oh, I love this.
Against such an insidious foe.
In Ilsabad. Thavna. Well, I got the meme for that.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
Night of drinking.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions.
What? What do you mean, a note?
Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Uh-oh. Stinian. But will you really reach the Stinian in time? He goes right for the junk marks. Oh. Oh, Lord, no! No! You there. I need 3 drinks, something that helps with aether sickness. A traveler. I mean, greetings and welcome! Oh, welcome to Thavnia. Please offer you for the low price of 19,800 gil. Not for 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. Price is highway robbery. Deny. I thought you could barely stand. And tell me that they're so urgent. Wait, I shouldn't buy it? The merchant is swindling me? Oh, ah! Sincere apologies, sir, but I appear to my price is confusing. Actually, 1,890 gil for 3 bottles. The confusion will have been cost greatly for both of us. Very well then, your coin. Alright, I'm ready to get with it. That last sea truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Let's see what he's bought. Oh, thy hair. Ah, bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against the heat, short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? The local vendor. The man said it's Thaz the Veneer weed. Tough and not easily unraveled. How much did it cost? 9400 gil. A steal, I was told. Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. They say not even Alpha could hold a candle to you. I like to think that with Bernier, that Alizé is like his little niece. Especially even more so after a certain father, you know, kicked him out. Like, I'm taking care of them now. We've been through too much together, and they're like my children. I am that dad figure, by the way. Speaking of which, let's glamour plate to activate dad mode. I see. How very Charlian that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, the crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions to gauge the mood in the city? I'm interested to hear what average city has to say about the Talofery. Might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Yay! God, I love this part. I love the little gimmicks they're adding. Anybody dickin'? Alright, dickin'. You going for a good dickin'? What a poor choice of names. Poor choice of names. Welcome, sir. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mr. Alizé? See there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the Last Inn. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion in between lessons at the stadium. This seems like an age ago. I remember hearing you and Master Alphinaud had set off for Erzia, but then never came back. Lately, there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything alright at home? No. It's complicated, and I had expected a complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Levier. No matter how discreet Master Fonchenol may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions, and only Charlian has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickon. Have you heard anything about the apocalypse called the Final Days? What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And you're here to find that? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, our patrons appear to be unwilling to speak to me. I wish there's more I could do to help. But maybe there is. You're a visitor Charlian, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server, none the wiser. You finish preparing a few orders, strike up some friendly conversation while you're still laying down. For food. You might want answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? As long as I get to keep the outfit. That's the spirit. Pay attention. Now I'll explain where each of these dishes need to go. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind, sight, and out of sight. Aww, yeah. She got coffee. Branded mug.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Grahal said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length.
Yep.
Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently.
Always
it was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
Nah, probably not. There goes the boats.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Labyrinthos.
A vast complex beneath the island. Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility.
We're going to Labyrinthos.
Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat.
They know something.
Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual?
See, they know dang well
I
that
think
something's
they're
going
the
on.
ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum.
Yeah, they're definitely up to something. They know damn well the end of days are near, so they're trying to build the Ark. Because remember, they also said the Ark in that other tome with that, what's his face? The funny
If
name.
the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Alright, let's see where the next place we're going. Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but we'll find a path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead. Stay close. Oh, now I gotta follow her. Now she's the party leader. You can go faster than that. Should move along. Why keep running? First lost my butt. Even my walking is faster. Good. Haha. I can outrun you. We're all here now, taking liberty of securing permission from our group descent. See, suddenly works again. Going down? Ooh, fake sun.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
Look at the sheepies.
Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Labyrinthos. Ding! Cigars, cigarettes, ancient artifacts. Every time I hear this, I keep...
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing.
I really keep hearing Undertale music.
But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see. And once upon a time, this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
There's the bun boy.
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today.
Enthusiastically
broken? It may
broken.
be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
How very suspicious.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Answers! Damn, it's 7:30 a.m.
Ugh.
An echo moment?
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
It's very odd. Who called to her?